Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson. The Lord's will satisfying to the Lord's elect. See what's in the news real quick. And I'm just going to go over some precepts on it. All right. It says, crunch time, Democrats ready to shut down standoff over Republican health cuts. You know, right now they're discussing if they're gonna shut down the government. They're already talking about firing people ahead of time. So you ain't even gotta worry about getting paid during that downtime. They might get cut off indefinitely. They always say that, but eventually they come up to an agreement and they open everything up. But there's gonna be a time where there ain't gonna be any jobs, there ain't gonna be any work. It's gonna be utter chaos out here, man. It's same for the police and all that. If you ain't, if the government's not paying you, you working for free. You think they're gonna be, what do you call it? Answering calls. Oh, I need help over here. My boyfriend's beating me up. They're gonna be like, I'm sorry, ma'am. They're not gonna go. If the police officers are not getting paid, they're not gonna help you, man. Okay? So that just goes to show you that the Lord is true. Isaiah 32 in verse 9. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start at the top. Let's start there. Isaiah 32 in verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And of course, the prince that's gonna be reigning in righteousness is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and his elect men. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, in a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So a covert from the tempest, okay? Or for the storms, that's what a man's gonna be, okay? So you're gonna wanna be covered in that time. It's like an umbrella so the raindrops don't fall on you. That's what a man's gonna be. He's gonna be your covering, a man of the Lord. Okay, for you women that are out there who have no clue about what's written in this Bible. You know, you might think it's just a bunch of fairy tales and stuff until your ass get caught up in the fairy tale and your ass get destroyed. Isaiah 32 verse 3, and the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. That's right, the ears of the people that see and hear, those are that's who the Lord's talking to, the elect of Israel. Okay, the Israelites are going to receive this word. They're going to understand these prophecies. The heart also of the rash shall not understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. That's right. Okay? So there's going to be the heart of the rash. Let's look that up. Isaiah 32 and 4. Let's look that up. The heart of the rash. A stammerer could be a mocker, could be a different language. Isaiah 32 verse 4 meaning. We need to know these things up. Every single detail about this Bible, we need to understand it. Okay? It says the verse is part of a prophecy describing the reign of a righteous king, often seen as the Messiah, Hamashiach, in the just order that will be established. It contrasts the current corrupt state of Judah with the future renewal under divine rule. I mean, in that time, yeah, but we can see the corrupt state of this landmass that we're living in. Okay? Ain't nothing good coming to this place. Right now they're doing protests about deportations. There's the transaction spot where they put you into ICE. They got ICE look like ICE and Antifa supposedly are coming up against each other in Chicago. But when you watch it, you can tell they both working for the same person. Clearly Antifa, that's a fake ass bunch of Edomites with helmets and gas masks on their face, with cameras, and they look fucking stupid. That's all, it's all paid for, man. It's fake. They don't look, they banging on drums, they're singing songs, it's fucking weird, man. And it's a bunch of Edomites doing that shit. Let them fuck their own country up, man. Let those motherfuckers fight. Let them fulfill prophecy. Okay? Just stay out of that shit. It says the heart of the rash in Hebrew is mahar, meaning hasty, hurried, impulsive, refers to those who previously acted without wisdom or understanding under this reign. Their minds will be enlightened to discern knowledge. That's right. Just like us, we're gonna get the knowledge in our captivity. The light has shined upon us in a dark place. You know, Isaiah 60:1. Let me grab that. That's exactly what happened to us. Same things being played out in this time. Isaiah 60 verse 1, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. That's right, man. So now we're getting that light in a dark place. It's basically, Isaiah was talking about a time of gross darkness. This is a time of gross darkness. The majority of the people don't know the Lord. They're not thinking about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. They calling him by a Greek name. Why does the Lord look like your oppressor all of a sudden? And everyone believes that mess. Especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Y'all are in darkness if you believe these lies. Okay, and it was systematic the way they did it. You know, they put you in schools, these chartering schools, all this propaganda, slavery, re-education systems, you know, and then the system that they set in place is so you fail. So you always, you know, poor people are more likely to believe in false gods and superstitions and things like that. Okay, so that's why he likes to keep you oppressed and keep putting that image in your face so you can think that subconsciously that he's your master, he's your savior, but he's actually the one who's bringing forth all this destruction, and you need to be prepared for it spiritually. Isaiah 32. Oh, let me finish that in Chat GPT. It says, shall understand knowledge, they will gain true discernment, especially of God's word, laws, and righteous judgment. Yeah, you should be able to discern these scriptures and see that this don't favor the so-called white man. Okay, being righteous, that's not in his forte. That's not who he is. All he brings forth is wickedness. And now we can start to see these curses falling upon our enemies, and they don't like it. They don't like being judged. They don't like when it's famines, but that's what the Israelites went through. All these things that you hear about the heathen going through is what Israelites went through, and we have a book of remembrance. Okay, and guess what? There's no book saying how all these other nations were happy. I mean, were so sad that you felt. You know, they were okay with it. Okay, let me grab that in the book of Lamentations, chapter 2. And Lamentations. They were happy, man. Lamentations chapter 2. In verse 15, all that passed by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughters of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Yeah, that's what they're looking. They're wagging their head, they're clapping their hands because they're happy that you're in this state. Now they can rule and be wicked as hell. They don't have to bring forth gifts anymore. They don't have to be subject to the rulership of Yasharallah, but that's all coming back. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found. We have seen it. That's right. They have seen it. That the children of God are under our thumb. Good morning. You know, that the children of God they're a reproach. We can mock them now. We can say whatever the hell we want to them. We can push them around. We can put our knees on their neck. They love that shit. They love it. Or they shooting and killing each other. They love that shit, man. Love it. And Esau is the one. As a matter of fact, there's a song I wanted to see it. I was watching Joe Budden's podcast showing Young Thug looking like a damn white dude, man, with blue eyes on his album cover. And they saying he's doing that for sales. No, he's doing that because the so-called white man told him to do that. And I heard he dropped the hard ER in there in one of his rap songs. Good. Good, man. You go buy that album. That music's not for you anyways. That's for Esau to go play. He can say that shit. That's why, as long as the rapper say he feels more comfortable saying these things. That's why they told him to put that in his lyrics. Okay? If they didn't tell him directly, the spiritual demon Satan told him to do that. Okay, because that's the type of vibration that he's pushing out on these people. Because they're in gross darkness. And that dude's covered in money. Okay? Showing you how far we fell as a holy and righteous city. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 17, the Lord Yahweh hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and have not pity, and he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. The horn is talking about his power. He set up the power of your adversaries, which are your enemies, over you. Okay? Because he was angry with you for not keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. So it's better for you to follow and take heed. Lamentations 2, verse 18, their heart cried unto the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eye cease. That's right, man. He's crying out to the Lord, man. The apple of his eye is talking about the Israelites. That's who he loves the most. Okay? And they're crying out because they're desolate. They're destroyed. Okay? And this is talking about after the fall of Babylon. The fall of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. Okay, the first temple after the fall of King Solomon. This is when it all. This is the lamentation. Okay, but we're gonna rejoice over those who took down Babylon. Just like when the Babylonians, they didn't even fall like the way it's prophesied to fall by fire. Okay, they were taken out by Darius the Mede in Daniel the 5th chapter with the handwriting on the wall. So that wasn't fulfilled yet. Okay, Lamentations 2, verse 19. Arise, cry out in the night, in the beginning of the watches, pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thy hands toward him for the life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street. So when they besieged us, they surrounded Jerusalem and they starved us out. And then when they thought it was time to go in, they went in. It was an easier spoil. Especially when your enemy hasn't had any food or water. And Esau's going to be doing the same thing spiritually. He's going to make it hard for you to drink water. He's going to make it hard for you. Ultimately, it's the Lord using Esau, Edom, to bring forth these afflictions. And if you're not prepared mentally, you're going to either drink some contaminated water or you're going to go to your enemy to drink some water. But it's going to cost you your salvation for a glass of water. Okay? So that's why you want to be built up in these last days. You want to know what's written in this book so you can stand on it in the last time. Even if you got to give up the ghost. It's all part of this enduring into the end. The Lord had to endure the cross, and you got to endure whatever afflictions he puts in your path. Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 20. Behold, O Lord Yahweh, and consider to whom thou hast done this. Shall the women eat their fruit, and children of a span long? Shall the priest and the prophet be slain in the sanctuary of the Lord? That's right. Shall the women eat their fruit? Talking about their children. That's the fruit of your body. Shall they be doing that? Shall the priest be slain inside the sanctuary? No, he's asking to be to defend us. All right. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 21. The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Thou hast slain them in the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. And just like it says in Ezekiel the 9th chapter. You ain't got the wah, and he gonna utterly slay old and young. There's no respecter of persons. You don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, he'll kill your ass. Simple as that. And then look at how much more he's been long suffering, so he's angry. He's been letting this devil do a lot. He's been letting 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans get away with all types of crimes and wickedness. But now he's starting to judge, and you want to be a part of, you want to be a partaker of his judgment, good luck. It might come in a form that you least expect. You got all those damn kids, you might be eating them. Okay? You love your house so much, he might make that shit fall on you. You know? Whatever you like. The irony of it all, whatever it is you worship, He's going to make sure you get the proper judgment you deserve. We all going to get a proper judgment, whatever we deserve. Whether it be salvation or getting put to death in the middle of the street. Whatever it is. Take it cheerfully. Lamentations 2 verse 22, thou hast called as in a solemn day my terrors round about, so that in the day of the Lord's anger none escape nor remain. Those that I have swallowed and brought up have mine enemy consumed. That's right. And your enemy's going to consume your ass too. All right? Let's look that up. Lamentations 2 verse 22. I ain't even finished Isaiah 32 and 4. I'll get that. Lamentations 2 verse 22, meaning. Yep. The verse Jeremiah lamenting the destruction of Jerusalem after Babylon's invasion, that has called as in a solemn day my terrors round about. Normally a solemn day meant a holy feast when the people gathered to rejoice before the Lord. But here, instead of joy and worship, God called together terrors, armies, famine, and destruction as if they were invited guests. Yep. Calling your enemies as if it was a solemn day, man. They had a party, man, on your downfall. And you the prey, you the meal. Okay? Same thing that's going to happen in these last days. You're rejoicing with the same people that are going to bring forth your destruction. Okay? The enemy surrounded Jerusalem like people assembling for a festival. Yeah, right? You know, you go to a party, you can't wait to get in. They couldn't wait. It says, in the day of the Lord's anger, none escape nor remain. God's judgment was so severe that none of the people could escape. Both the high and the low suffered equally under his wrath. And the same thing's going to happen here, both high and low. Branch and rush. All right, no work. I was just doing a video yesterday. 40 Starbucks in the Bay Area are they were told that they're going to lose their jobs. They went into work Saturday and was told tomorrow, you're pretty much through. Tomorrow's your last day. Pack it up. Okay? And that could happen with anybody's job anywhere in this country. Nobody's safe from the prophecies. Okay? Those that I have swallowed and brought up have my enemy consumed. The children whom parents once nursed, the children whom parents once nursed, wrapped in swaddling clothes and raised with care, were devoured, destroyed by the enemy. This highlights both the totality of the destruction and the depth of grief, since even the innocent were taken. So look at that. Kids you raised up being destroyed by your enemies. And it tells you that in Isaiah, what was I reading? Isaiah 13 and 16. The children shall be dashed to pieces right in front of your eyes, man. What do you think that means, man? People's children are going to be dashed to pieces before your eyes, man. All right? Now, a lot of people can read that, but really put your mind in the grief and process of that, man. All right? That's what happened in Jerusalem in these other times. So when you hear about Jacob's trouble, that's what it's talking about. These are glimpses of the time to come. Okay? It's a combination of famine, destruction. We've seen the Lord's wrath multiple times. 70 AD, ancient Babylon, the different times during the Judges. But then we're still prophesying about Jacob's trouble in the last days. So it was the same type of thing. And they didn't have drones, robots, guns, different diseases, new diseases and shit like that. You know, there's a lot of different things that the Lord's gonna. He has more tools to use to destroy your ass than he did ever before. There wasn't thermonuclear missiles before. There wasn't hypersonic missiles. You know, he probably got different torture devices, all types of shit. Man. Okay, let me take Isaiah 32. Let me finish that before. It says Isaiah 32 verse 4. Let me read it again. It says, the heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. So the heart of the rash meaning hasty, hurry, refers to those who previously acted without wisdom or understanding under this reign. Their minds will be enlightened to discern knowledge. And that's us, man. Shall understand knowledge, they will gain true discernment, especially of God's word, laws, and righteous judgment. The tongue of the stammerers, meaning stammering, stumbling in speech, unclear expression, refers to people who once couldn't express themselves well in truth, possibly due to fear, ignorance, or spiritual blindness, shall be ready to speak plainly. They will boldly and clearly proclaim righteousness, no longer hindered in speech or understanding. Yeah, that's us, man. Clearly speaking in that, the Spirit has was given unto us to believe and go turn a penny, turn this knowledge, and share it. For those who, however the Lord's going to deliver it to his elect. Whether it be however he's going to deliver, he's going to get it to who he needs to get it to. Okay, this word's going to get to who it needs to get to. All right. Give me some precepts. It says, Isaiah 29 verse 24, they also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. That's right. They that murmured, you were mocking, you were talking shit. Now you learning doctrine. A lot of Christians nowadays, because of the Israelites going out here, these different debates, they're still dumb as a nail, but at least they're looking into the scriptures, man. Even if they come against Israel, you still forced to for the thought of the talking point to go through your damn thick ass skull. You got a thick fucking skull. I think it tells you that all flesh consorteth to its like. So a lot of people who are in these churches, because you're just a reprobate just like them, so that's what you gravitate to. Okay, all flesh consorteth to its like. So if you and whoever you like to hang around with got something in common. That's what that's saying. People you associate yourself with, you got something in common. Right? And that's why y'all go to these harlot houses, because the thing that y'all have in common is that you love this world. That's why you can't come out here to the highways of heaven. You can't come out here and talk to an Israelite and really get into some scriptures, man. It's too hard for you. You can't get past John 3:16. You still ain't repented from that. They broke it down. They went into the word. You got ChatGPT. You could be looking into these things, but you refuse to do that. Here it is, the apostle got over 40 plus years, and he still be elevating himself, man, 40 years later. He's still humble enough to keep sharpening his sword, man. Okay, so why wouldn't you want to be sharpening your sword? You still on the same shit that the fucking slaves were believing in fucking when they got here on slave ships. Fucking dumbasses. Because you're a damn slave, man. That's what you get. Okay, you got that Stockholm syndrome. That's why you crying for the damn Kirk, man. Whatever Esau tells you to cry about, you're gonna start weeping instantly. Yeah, cry about this man. Don't cry about the nigga who just got 2 people who got hung in Mississippi. Don't cry about that. You cry about this. Okay? He tells you what you niggas need to cry about, because that's your father, the devil. Okay, and the lust of your father you will do. Right? This book of Isaiah 32 verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. So the vile person is Esau, even the so-called white man, shall no more be called liberal. Liberal means noble. You look at him like he's a noble person. Look how elegant he is in his speech. Nah, fuck all of that, man. You're gonna no more be called that. You're gonna be called the devil that's in this Bible, man. You're going to be called scum of the earth, fucking thief that should be put in slavery and then destroyed. You ain't going to be called liberal no more. You're not going to be called noble no more. Okay? Nor the churl to be bountiful. The churl is like somebody who's like pretty much wicked. Okay, like a scoundrel, I think, when you look in the word. Like a mischievous person. Ultimately, he's talking about the so-called white man, his devious ways. He ain't going to be bountiful. He's not going to be prospering in his wickedness anymore. Okay, these curses in Deuteronomy 28 is going to fall upon our enemies according to Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. Okay? Isaiah 32, verse 6, for the vile person will speak villainy, in his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. That's right. So those of you who need this word, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he's going to pervert the scriptures so you can believe in something that's false. Your soul is hungering for knowledge. It's hungering for the Lord, but he's preventing you from getting that proper nutrition by fucking with the doctrine. You know, he's paying people off so you could go off. Your pastors, that your most famous, successful pastors, they're all sold out, man. Even some of the pastors that somewhat hint at that you're Israel, they even sold out. Even some of the pastors that fully tell you that you're Israel, but error on the name, they sold out. Now, whether they got paid or not, or they're just spiritually reprobate demons, they sold out to the spiritual demon Satan, one way or the other. Or the Lord ain't dealing with them. This book isn't open up to them. Let's look at this word, villainy, in Isaiah 32. I got a couple more pieces. Let me grab this. Habakkuk 2, verse 2. Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. That's right. Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So we're reading the Bible, making it as plain as possible so you understand what it's saying, so you can run, like Paul Revere, and tell everybody that the so-called Edomites, the red Edomites are coming. Instead of the red coats, it's the red shields coming to get you. Okay, the red man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's coming to get you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's starting with ICE. It's starting with all these unrighteous decrees, digital IDs in the UK, and then it's going to come down, work its way around to your red ass. I mean, you Edomites. I mean, you Israelites. You Edomites too, but you Edomites think you're progressive anyways. That's why you're cutting off your breasts, okay, your rods. You'll do anything. You'll take anything. You're for all that wicked shit. But the Israelites, they're not supposed to follow your wicked ways, man. They're supposed to refrain from the ways of the wicked. You were created to be like that. They weren't. They're seduced by you because they're going through oppression of your forefathers. So we're making it plain, making it simple to be understood. Still need to do your own research. You ain't supposed to just listen to somebody. Don't listen to nobody. See what they say. I'll go look it up myself, see if it's true or not. So I can be persuaded in my own mind. Nobody can make you persuaded in this thing, man. You got to be persuaded in your own mind. They just here to bring you to the water. You can fill up your cup with great millstone, but it's up to you to believe and be persuaded in your own mind in that time. Your lot, everyone's lot's different. Everyone's lot's not going to be the same. You can hold hands together and the Lord will judge all you differently. Exodus 4 and 11. It's not telling me what it says. I'm going to grab it. It said it's talking about, let me see. I think it's talking about Moses. It says, I'll start at 10. Exodus 4:10. And Moses said unto the Lord Yahweh, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore. What does heretofore mean? Before now. Heretofore means before now. Neither before now, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech, make it sound like he was like a stutterer or something like that. He was raised as pretty much as an Egyptian, man. Okay, so he had to learn the ways of Egypt, man. He could have been called Pharaoh's daughter's son or something like that. Okay? Just like us, man. You got somebody speak fluent Hebrew off the top. He ain't gonna know how to do that, man. He ain't gonna know how to do that. They is so far removed from his culture in the ways of the Lord. So at least he knows the name of the Lord. You can know all the Hebrew in the world and you don't know the name of the Lord. How stupid is that? That sounds fucking dumb as shit. You're supposed to be a Hebrew, right? You're supposed to be, the God of the Bible is supposed to be protecting you and you don't even know his fucking name. That's how you know that the heathen despise. They don't even say his name. They call him Yashim, man. That means the name. So don't be fooled by these devils telling you, oh, you're Hebrew and speak Hebrew. Get the fuck out of here. What's the name of the Lord? Hashem. Get the fuck out of here, man. You dumbass. Fucking stupid people, man. That's showing you the hypocrisy of these devils, man. But if you ain't built up in the spirit, something as small as that will get you knocked over. You know what, you're right. I don't know how to speak Hebrew. You know, I speak this modern day language, so that must be what I am. That's simple-mindedness, man. You got to get out of that simplicity of mind, man. And the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua get you out of that weak state. Hopefully it will. It might not. But hopefully at least get you to the destination, man. However much knowledge the Lord gave you, it starts with this faith, man. You got to keep it. All right? You got to hold on to it. And of a slow tongue. Let me look at this word slow. Look at this word slow. Slow. Heavy, great, massive, abundant, heavy, dull, hard, burdensome, numerous, too heavy, of a slow speech, difficult speech. It's hard to speak Hebrew, man. If you weren't raised under your cultures, man. Moses was born in captivity, man, just like us. Born here in America. A lot of people who are born here in America, even if your parents speak your native language from wherever you're from, you chop it up. You fuck it up. Why? Because you're in captivity. Everyone here speaks English. All your friends speak English. Your school teaches you in English. That's going to make it slow and hard for you to speak your native language because you're not in your native land, just like Israel. Now, how much more years of not doing that? Speaking these other languages that ain't even yours. These are all languages we learn from our oppressors. This is heavy. And of a slow tongue, so he couldn't speak. And eloquently, you know, when you speak eloquently, I don't speak eloquently. At least not to my own knowledge, but if it's able to be understood, that's eloquent to me. You can understand what the hell I'm saying, that's eloquent enough. I don't gotta say big words all the time and sound like a damn college professor for you to understand that salvation is for Israel. That the Lord's coming to save you. Okay? You don't have to use big words for that. We're making it plain, man. You can use them if you got the capability to do it. Hell yeah. We got to reach all demographics when it comes to Israel, man. Israel is not just all a bunch of niggas on the corner, man. There's some eloquent people within the nation of Israel. We pretty much created everything that you see, especially these stoplights. Imagine if America didn't have that. Esau was a fucking reprobate person. You look at his history. This nigga thought shitting on yourself and not cleaning yourself was pure. He wasn't even bathing himself, man. That's the natural state of Esau. Okay? He's just a nasty man. Okay, we had to get him, listen, you gotta do all this, you gotta clean yourself, man. You gotta stand up right, man. Can't be sleeping with the dogs. I don't want you near them, man. What the fuck you think this is? You know? But he's still like that, still to this day. That's just in his spirit. Sleeping with dogs in your bed and shit. Get the fuck out of here. The dog's supposed to be barking when the enemy's coming. Sleeping with the fucking dog. The dog don't even act like it's a dog anymore. Acts like a damn sodomite. Big ass dog, weak as hell, won't even bark. I wonder why Job didn't walk around his dogs. Dog wouldn't even bark when the enemy would come and run. That's all. Its only purpose is to fucking bark, man. To warn you. They won't even do that. I wouldn't want you next to my fucking dog in this time. Never mind you. The stories of you fucking the dogs, man. Putting peanut butter on your box so they can lick it off, man. That's Esau Edom. That's the so-called white woman. Read the book 13th Tribe, man. Come on, man. Should've make you throw up. See how much you want to Edomite back then. She didn't look so good. That's why when she get brought low, don't get me wrong, some of them will look good. If you want them, you can have them. But ain't nothing special about them, man. It's a fucking concubine, man. That's not somebody you want to share your inheritance with Israel with, man. There's something online that shows Native American women still in this day, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Our women are blessed, man. Our women gonna look way better than these damn fucking. Look at Judith, man. Stopped the whole battle how beautiful she was. I believe she was from the tribe of Simeon. Gorgeous. When I read about her, it makes me think, damn, she was able to cut this nigga's head off, man. Precision strike how beautiful she was, man. Why wouldn't I want to be with a woman that looked like that? That's capable of that the Lord's dealing with. Okay? The Lord ain't dealing with the fucking Edomite woman. She might be able to help you now. She might get you shot in your Miami building, man. She might get you set up. She's not built to take these afflictions that are coming. She's good when things are good. Are you ready to leave that bitch when it's time to go? We'll see. We'll see, man. And that's any of these bitches, man. Any one of them, man. They're gonna make you fail. They're gonna make you weak. Come on, let's go take the MOTB, baby. You'll be like, oh, okay, honey, let's go do that. And we can get a smash burger. All those parasites in your body, man. You should be combating all this shit, man. All this shit, man. Exodus 4:11, and the Lord Yahweh said unto me, who have made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind, have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. He said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. That's right. So we're going to do it anyways. The Lord created your mouth, man. And if he wants to use it to bring forth his word, he's going to use it. And you can't do nothing about it. He put the spirit on you, you're going to prophesy. Okay, Isaiah 32, I want to look at the word. For the vile person will speak villainy. Vile person will speak villainy. That's another interesting right there. Isaiah 32, verse 16. It says, for the vile person will speak villainy. Vile in Hebrew is nabal, foolish, morally worthless. That's right. That's what Esau is, the mindset of Esau, because that's what he actually is. He's actually a two-third nigga, man. The top nigga. He's the top nigga, man. He's the head nigga in charge. That's what he is. Going all the way back to Cain, man. That's why you gotta discern spirits. That's what he is. Just a fucking nigga, man. From the beginning. He's the worst nigga this world has ever seen, man. And y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see it. You think he's liberal, man. He's not. The ball, man. It says, vile describes someone who despises wisdom and God. Psalms 14:1, it gives us the precept. Despises the Most High, man. Just like a nigga does. Nah, I gotta get this money. I gotta sell drugs to my own people. I gotta do. No, you need to get stoned to death, man. You need to get shot to death in the street. There was somebody, I think in Chicago, he was riding a bike. These dudes jumped out the car and aired his ass out, man. And then walked up on him and sprayed him up some more. Imagine what that nigga did, man. He on his bike, like everything's all cool, man. And then 4 dudes hopped out, they all sprayed him down, man. In the middle of the street. And the Lord put the spirit on him to do that. Someone who gets put to death like that did somebody dirty, man. And he thought nobody was gonna do something to him. And that's it. You'd be surprised who would do some shit like that. That could have been regular people, man. You kill somebody's uncle, you kill somebody's family, sister, little brother playing football, he was about to get out the hood. Those people who get killed, someone gets smoked for shit like that. You know, you kill somebody's little brother, that's blood touching blood, man. So that's that Esau's mindset, man. He's the type, look how many deaths he brought sin. He's the one who beguiled Eve. That's why them two together, man, that's a wicked combination. And you gotta can't make the same mistake as Adam listening to your fucking woman, man. Fuck that bitch. It don't matter what tribe she's from. Because they all are part of this world. Except the elect woman. Okay? Which is rare, man. Just like the elect are rare. Not everybody is built up that way. To really believe the Lord ain't given that spirit yet. People still operating in fear. Okay, they still operating in getting along, go along to get along, man. That's how Esau is. He'll humble himself and croucheth just to get along, and then stab your ass in the back. That's how a lot of people are. They're in the mindset of Esau. That's why you gotta have spiritual discernment. The nigga's 100% in the world, but when he with you, now he a man. Get the fuck out of here, man. You gotta discern things like that. You can't be like everybody else. If the scriptures are not resonating with you, then something's wrong with you. Shalom alak, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatah. You know, if the spirit's not resonating with you, it's gonna manifest itself some way, somehow. Okay? Villainy, Nebalah, folly, disgraceful acts refers to shameless wickedness. Such a person openly speaks evil. His heart will work iniquity. His inward thoughts are constantly devising sin. Evil speech flows from an evil heart. To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord. He pretends righteousness outwardly, but inwardly he promotes lies and false doctrines that oppose God. And that's what Esau does. To make empty the soul of the hungry. Instead of feeding the spiritually hungry with truth, he deprives them, leaving them famished. Okay? And that's what he's trying to do in this time. He don't want you to know what the MOTB is. People are wishy-washy on that. You know? That's depriving you of your soul of the hunger that it seeks. He will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. He withholds or corrupts the living water of God's word, leaving people spiritually thirsty. That's right. Same thing, man. This water, this bread, is supposed to, which is the understanding of the Lord and the prophecies, volume of the book. If you don't get that, it's because this devil, he plays a part in it. Because the earth was given to him according to Job 9:24. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4. In verse 3, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of a Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So if you don't believe it, you're blinded because of Esau, who's the God of this world, man, which is Esau Edom. That's who you think is God, man. You think the so-called white man is your God, and we're telling you he's not, man. Isaiah 32 and verse 7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. That's right, instruments also of the churl are evil. You know, these different devices that he used, whether it be propaganda, false doctrines, whatever it is, they're all instruments of the churl, man, the scoundrel, the mischievous person, Esau. What he does is he creates, just like this whole situation with this assassination. You look into it, people are taking down cameras, people are pressing buttons on their shoulders, there's so much going on. That's his instruments. That's why you got to be wise. The devil is in the details. All this confusion, they pick him up, put him in an unmarked vehicle, and black vehicle, and dip off. Bunch of property. Everyone's, oh, we love him, and this, that, and the third. Get the hell out of here, man. That's the instruments of the churl. Okay? That's wicked. Just to steal the hearts and minds of the people, get you deceived. Let me grab this. Thought I could grab it. Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Yeah, you got to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. Things like situations like this can get you brought up into some shit you don't want to be in. Let me grab this in Peter. That's all I was looking for. Oh, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So you got to be sober, man. Sober-minded, meaning spiritually sober. Not deceived by all these winds of doctrine, these different instruments that this devil's using to try to get you to be occupied in something that doesn't matter. All right? Isaiah 32, verse 8, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Let's see what that means. Isaiah 32 and 8. The liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Isaiah 32 and 7. It says, the instruments also of the churl, or evil churl, Hebrew, Kalai, a base, greedy man, miser, scoundrel. His instruments, meaning methods, schemes, are unjust. That's right. They're unjust, man. And ultimately, they're just wicked. He's trying to do it in a roundabout way to bring forth some form of an agenda. He devises wicked devices. He carefully plans ways to oppress and exploit others. That's right. To destroy the poor with lying words, he deceives and manipulates the poor with false promises, causing them harm. Yeah, this is going to save you, like the MOTV. That's a false promise. He can save you. That's a false promise. Even when the needy speaketh right, even if the poor plead their cause honestly, he still oppresses them through deceit and injustice. That's right. It's 2025. No way you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are still at the level that you're at, man. On a very low level. Not just physically, but spiritually too. He's just fucking you up, man. Both ends of the spectrum. And you're rich, according to Revelation, the 2nd chapter, but you can't even receive your blessing, man. The covenants, the promises, that's what you're rich about. He's lying to you, and the Lord's telling you the truth, and you don't want to receive it. So that's you plucked up by the roots. You physically and spiritually dead. Don't know who you are, and you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead. Okay, Isaiah 32:8, the liberal, the noble, generous, princely refers to a person of upright and generous spirit, devises liberal things. He plans good, righteous actions, showing justice, mercy, and generosity. By liberal things shall he stand. His strength, reputation, and stability come from his noble deeds. His character is established by righteousness, right? And he's not liberal. He's not noble. Ultimately, that belongs to Israel. All right? They're the ones who are going to establish righteousness down here on the earth. All right? Not Esau. This wicked kingdom ain't bringing nothing righteous to this place. Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29, I start at 1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. That's right, man. You often reprove, you're going to suddenly be destroyed. You were trying to reprove you by giving you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but if you don't receive it, you're going to be destroyed. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The righteous are the Israelites. When they're in authority, when they're in power, the people are going to rejoice because the law, statutes, and commandments, order is going to be established down here on the earth. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. The people mourn because there's no order, there's no righteousness, there's not judgment being executed. Okay, righteous judgment. That's what you're mourning about. If someone robs you and you don't get paid back, it's called injustice, and that's constantly happening. You're constantly being robbed. You're constantly being, he's constantly oppressing. Isaiah 32 and verse 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Yeah, you women, you Israelite women, you daughters in Zion, rise up, you're at ease. You're at ease because you lack understanding. You're at ease because you think this place is going to prosper. It's not. It's going to be the opposite of what you think. Okay, it's going to be hell. You're not even going to have your basic necessities anymore. Okay? Especially police, man. You ain't going to have that option anymore. You're going to need a man of the Lord. Like I said, that government shutdown, the police are not getting paid, and if it gets shut down indefinitely and all chaos kicks off, so he can start implementing, oh, we need a digital ID, we need this, that, and the third. So we can get the government started back up. These things are happening, man. These things could happen in the near future. Okay? Now, every government shutdown, there's always have been, they fixed it. The last time when Duck was in office, it was a long 35-day government shutdown. So for 35 days, they weren't getting paid. They were getting, I owe you. I owe you. Okay? And that was supposed to be a record. Now imagine 60 days, 90 days. Okay? He might break a record this time too. It's to the point where it's indefinitely. There is no more government. There's no Democrat and Republican Party. Nothing but fucking chaos, man. That's what's coming. And don't think the police are going to be on your side. They're probably going to join these right-wing militias. That's pretty much majority of them are. Now, I'm in a liberal state, so maybe not so much over here, but you'd be surprised, man, when it comes to survival, man. You might be aligned more with the gunpowder, with the people who got the guns. You might want to align yourself with that. which is predominantly these right-wingers. All right? And if you're not aligned with either party, man, you better trust in the Lord, and you got to be an Israelite. That's who the Lord's coming to save. If you think you're something outside of that and you think you're going to be saved, man, you probably, the Lord's not dealing with you. He's not revealing himself unto you. All right? Isaiah 32, verse 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Right? Give ear unto my speech. Which are these prophecies, man? Give me a precept in my Bible. I just want to grab it real quick. Amos 6:1. Woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Israel came. Yeah. You know, the northern kingdom was at ease, man, while they were oppressing their own people. But in this case, you're at ease being comfortable in this world. Because it's made for a woman. Convenience, no struggle. So you're at ease. You know, back then you might have had to walk a little bit to go get some water. You might have had to carry some shit on your head. You know, it was more of a burden, but it humbled your ass. But now that everything's convenient, you're convenient. You're at ease. Isaiah 32, verse 10, many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Yeah, the gathering shall not come. They're not going to go, the vintage is going to fail, there ain't going to be nothing to gather. Your food, your economy that you trust in, these truck drivers getting over here and shit like that. You know, these different ports. It's going to be tough out here, man. You can't even rely on it. Economically, you have no control over what comes over the Gulf of Hormuz. You know, even Panama Canal. He going to war with Venezuela. Venezuela, they can team up with people over there and fuck up the Panama Canal. Even if they stop it for a little bit, that'll disrupt what you got on your table. And he going to war in that area. Colombia president was just up here condemning this place. He's closer to the Panama Canal. Venezuela got a fucking huge army, man. Pretty much everyone over there is, looks like it. You know, that could be propaganda. But they ready to go. So you got to understand what's going on in the world. Isaiah 32:11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, you careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Yeah, you should be mourning, man. You should be crying to the Lord that he saved you in this time. You see what's going on in the world. Maybe you don't, because you lack understanding. You don't know the prophecies. You're at ease. Wake up. Girding yourself with sackcloth. This is a form of girding yourself with sackcloth. I'm not telling you to do that, but spiritually, you should be in a mourning state. Okay? We're mourning. That's why, because surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Okay? This is what the Lord will do to you, man. He'll crush you, in various ways so you can glorify him. He'll get you to do it. And you could glorify him just by being obedient. He rathers obedience rather than sacrifice. A lot of you women, y'all don't see the significance in being obedient. You're disobedient and you're going to be judged because of it. Isaiah 32 and verse 12. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, the teats of government assistance. EBT, welfare. Okay? Even government assistance when it comes to calling the police. You're going to lament for that. Because they ain't gonna come to help you, man. They're gonna be more focused on their families and what they got going on. And don't think when there's nothing going on that they ain't gonna turn criminal. They're not gonna go kick down doors. They got all the resources to do it. They got all the combat gear to do it. The training to do it. Isaiah 32 verse 13, upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. And that's talking about Jerusalem, but Jerusalem is the people before it's a place. So your house here in America is going to be destroyed. Ain't going to be nothing fun about it, man. Thorns and briars, nothing fruitful coming from your house, man. Nothing you can eat. Because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the cities shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. Yeah, you want wild animals. Until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. So you want to be striving for righteousness' sake. Okay, because that's why you're going to need a man. Operating under the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Because with him is peace. Okay? What's that? Mark the perfect man. Psalms 37 and verse 37, mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. That's right. Mark the perfect man. Meaning a man of the Lord, who clearly the Lord's dealing with. Watch him. Be with him. Okay? Tells you in Isaiah the 13th chapter, he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. That's a man of the Lord. The end of that man is peace. That's what the Lord's dealing with. But you got to have discernment. It's not for everyone to know who's a man of the Lord. That's not revealed unto everybody. We have assumptions. We don't know who we were in the past. We don't know. It's all through the Spirit. Okay? Isaiah 32 and verse 18, and my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation, and in sure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. When it shall hail, coming down on the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. I gotta see what that means. Isaiah 32, verse 19 and 20. Last two verses. When it shall hail, hail often symbolizes God's judgment coming down on the forest. The forest represents strong, numerous, lofty men of nations. And the city shall be low in a low place. The fortified, exalted city of the proud will be humbled and brought down. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters. Sowing near water signifies abundance and fruitfulness. Spiritually, it means spreading righteousness and good works in fertile ground. That's right. That's what we're doing now, man. It's sowing seed. You don't know where it's going to land, who it's going to get to, but you sow it anyways. That sent forth thither their feet of the ox and the ass. Oxen and donkeys were used for plowing and working the land. Letting them roam freely in a well-watered field shows peace, prosperity, and security. No fear of war or destruction, just fruitfulness. It's a summary of verse 20. After judgment humbles the proud, those who trust in the Lord will prosper in peace, enjoying blessing and abundance under his righteous rule. That's right. That's what's going to come after this great tribulation. I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bachahwadash, Shalom, Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala.